The schools remained segregated. The city parks were closed to avoid integration. The libraries were integrated, but only after all the chairs were removed. SCLC official Andrew Young remembered Martin Luther King as being very depressed. He was looking to start another campaign, and he badly needed another victory. Thus came Birmingham Project C.
The Birmingham Campaign was a strategic movement organized by the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to bring attention to the unequal treatment of Black Americans endured in Birmingham, Alabama. The campaign was during the spring of 1963, in which young Black African Americans protested to change the city's discrimination laws. The project was led by Martin Luther King Jr., who used nonviolent tactics to challenge the power of laws they considered unfair.
Protesters in Birmingham did not want violence, but police officers provoked violence against them. A civil rights demonstrator in Alabama was attacked by a police dog on May 3, 1963. Policemen surrounded the crowd heavily with fierce police dogs and let them attack many innocent African Americans. Lacking jail space, police used dogs to disperse the crowds. The nation was battling for the minds and the hearts of men in Africa, and they were going to respect the United States of America if African Americans are deprived of the basic rights of life because of the color of their skin.
Not all of the demonstrators were peaceful. In some cases, bystanders attacked the police, who responded with force. Firefighters turned their hoses full force on civil rights demonstrators on July 15, 1963. Many African Americans were severely injured from powerful water pressures.
African American demonstrators marched in downtown Birmingham, Alabama. In Birmingham, their campaign tactics focused on goals for the downtown shopping and government district. These goals included the desegregation of Birmingham's downtown stores, fair hiring practices in shops and city employment, the reopening of public parks, and the creation of a biracial committee to oversee the desegregation of Birmingham's public schools.
Many African Americans were also arrested during the protesting, one of them including Martin Luther King Jr. Police officers arrested Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. by the seat of his trousers, leading him to a paddy wagon after an anti-segregation march in 1963. The breakthrough came when SCLC's James Bevel organized thousands of Black school children to march in Birmingham. Police used school buses to arrest hundreds of children who poured into the streets each day.
Dr. King and others were arrested for violating a restriction that was issued to prevent Dr. King and African Americans from participating, organizing, or promoting any marches or protests in Birmingham without a permit. While in jail, Dr. King composed his famous letter from the Birmingham jail. Ultimately, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld the convictions on the basis that Alabama had a legitimate interest in the enforcing restrictions, so they never addressed the denial of civil rights issues. If the arrest had been for marching and demonstrating without a permit, perhaps the Supreme Court would have addressed the issue of denial of civil rights, since they could not get a permit.
The 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham was used as a meeting place for civil rights leaders such as Martin Luther King, Ralph David Abernathy, and Fred Shutterworth. Tensions became high when the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and the Congress on Racial Equality became involved in a campaign to register African Americans to vote in Birmingham. A large crater is the result of a bomb that exploded near a basement room of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama on September 15, 1963, killing 4 Black girls. Whites who were angered with the African Americans trying to gain equality took destructive actions, not only killing these African Americans, but destroying a church and property.
A witness identified as Robert Chambliss, a member of the Ku Klux Klan, as a man who placed the bomb under the steps of the 16th Street Baptist Church. He was arrested and charged with murder and possessing a box of 122 sticks of dynamite without a permit. On October 8, 1963, Chambliss was found not guilty of murder and received a $100 fine and a 6-month jail sentence for having the dynamite. This is a coffin containing a child killed in Birmingham, Alabama church bomb.
After the church bombing, African Americans protested. They were furious because 4 innocent Christian girls were killed. They stood outside holding signs to show the whites the mistakes they made.
The Birmingham Project C was a successful protest led by Martin Luther King Jr. African Americans have endured a great deal of racial segregation, and they wanted to take a peaceful action towards living a better life in equality.